Hello there, everybody. This is Galera, and this is going to be a solo commentary. A couple things came up, and it was getting rather late for Mr. Clazzard over there in Ireland, so it is just going to be me finishing up this first day of the OSL. This is Kwanro versus Canata. It's going to be the first game of Group D. Kwanro and Canata, wow, these are two names that were last, really seen very often, at least, in 2007, especially Canata, a Terran player, for those of you who don't know. He was once, considered an up-and-coming star, but he's been, kind of slumping for a long time, and I guess now he's back in, a significant way, at least, further than he's been in a long time, which is, right now he's in the round of 16, so that's always an accomplishment for anyone, especially for a player like him, because probably meant he had to go through the preliminaries to get here. If you haven't been in the circuit for a while, the OSL is one of the most difficult, well, actually it is the most difficult Star League to get far in, because it's so legacy biased. As you know, of course, the top 4 players from the last OSL end up in the round of 16, and then the other next 12 highest players end up in the round of 36. So and they end up having a bonus there and being the player that only has to win 1 series. So it's very legacy based, and that's certainly fine. But it certainly shows that Canata has done well recently. He is at the 11 o'clock position in red, and we've got Kwanro, of course, the purple Zerg at the upper right. Kwanro also was kind of MIA for a while. Recently, he has come back, though, in a significant way. I think he's been playing well in both the MSL and the OSL. He's gotten into the opening rounds for the MSL also, and that certainly is a very much of an improvement for him. And certainly, he's got great aggressiveness. He's got very good control over small numbers of units. I think he just needs to work on his timing, his judgment, and also his late game play. Otherwise, I mean, he's right up there with Jaedong and Effort and whoever in the early game. I mean, he is actually probably better than anybody in terms of his Ling micro and his drone micro, believe it or not. I did do a Pimpus play, or whatever I called it. It wasn't actually technically a Pimpus play. It wasn't nominated as one, but where Kwanro basically defended against a bunker rush with just drones, and then not only defended it, he managed to kill off the Terran within like half a minute afterwards, because his combined army of drones and his first 6 Lings were so good that they were able to just push the Terran back and force him to GG, which is obviously something that usually doesn't happen when you have, by the way, he did go 12 hatch too, 12 hatch against the 8-Rax. The 8-Rax is supposed to beat the 12 hatch, or at least damage it severely. Anyway, we're going to see a mech opening here from Canata. Canata, historically known for being a fairly creative player, leaning towards the creative side of Terran, which is always enjoyable to watch. And we'll see what he does here on Return of the King, which is a fairly, I'd say, Terran-biased map. I would say probably a better map for M&M, but I guess the standard is to go for mech nowadays, so everybody does it. Even people like Hwasin or Firebat Hero, who've historically done better with M&M builds. We've got ourselves a expansion coming up at the upper right. We've got a weird-looking dude with a mask on, and I'm sorry, I miscalled this map again. This is Holy World. My apologies. This is Holy World. I was like, what is that expansion doing in the corner? No, this is not Return of the King again. This is Holy World. I should have noticed it before I started, but my apologies. It's Holy World, which is also, I'm still right though, it's still a decent map for Terran. I think, as long as the Zerg doesn't do some crazy infested Terran stuff, which I don't think would work anyway, but it is the map with the neutral command center in the middle. And it's also a very good pretender, because it's similar to so many other maps out there right now, like Medusa, and maps that have been played recently. Anyway, looks like we've got ourselves a 3-hatch opening here for Kwanro. He's going to be going probably 3-hatch into Hydralisks to start off with once he realizes there's a mech build. And meanwhile, we've got ourselves the Up Magic build, or the Up Magic opening, which I really like. It is the single factory into expansion. And I think it's a very solid build, actually. As long as you don't do anything silly afterwards, and as long as you can hold off a Hydralisk attack, which isn't necessarily true, but it certainly could break the front door, but you know, as long as you can do that, it gives you a very powerful opening, I think. And I think it's a lot more durable than some of the other builds that are out there that are more timing dependent and luck dependent. Anyway, it looks like we've got ourselves a possible sneak. Yeah, we've seen this a lot on this map. A couple of players have tried to do things like this, but Kwanro's obviously going to spot it. Canata's still going to go try to do it anyway. It's not going to cost him anything to go through other than the loss of a vulture, but he doesn't even manage to do that. Oh, he might still try, just to force a couple of lings or perhaps a sunken in the back. But I don't think one vulture is enough necessarily to scare Kwanro into building, especially considering how aggressive Kwanro is. He is going to put down one in the front though, which is obviously a smart idea. Canata's going to spot that, and he can't do much with just one vulture. He's going to follow it up with a starport. And this could be for possibly a vulture drop. I think it's actually not a bad idea on this map because the Zerg is spread out with the 3 different expansions, 3 different bases, and that could be difficult to fight against a fast vulture with mine drop. On the other hand, we could be seeing some odd Wraith timing. I don't think it will be, but it's certainly not impossible for Canata to come up with a new timing for builds. But I'm going to guess it's a vulture drop opening here, which certainly is reminiscent of a certain person's build, but I won't mention that. It's actually not the person's build, by the way. That build would not go for the fast expand before it. And anyway, we haven't even confirmed that's a vulture drop. We've seen a tank out, though. I think that's a smart move in anticipation for possibly a Hydralisk attack. And we're actually going to see Wraiths. Okay, so we're probably not going to see a vulture drop then. Interesting. So Wraiths maybe into drop? I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens. This is a strange opening here, but this map is you know, a new map, so maybe this is a new optimal build. I don't know. But we're going to have to find out. And so will both players, basically. Neither player has any scouting information on the other one. So I'm not sure exactly what Canata wants to do to defend himself against possible Mutalisks. Now, the thing is, it doesn't seem like Kwanro is going for Mutalisks. He seems to have built nothing other than just a Hydralisk Den, leading me to think that perhaps he's going to go Lurkers early on. I'm not sure if that's a great idea. It certainly would be a new kind of build also. But anyway, it looks like the Wraith is out, it's spotted, and it's going to take out just one Overlord. Now the thing is, without Cloak, Wraiths by themselves aren't that powerful. And yeah, the Observer's showing us there's still nothing being built, no tech buildings. So Lurkers, it should be, or maybe, you know, I'm really not sure. It would make sense if it was Lurkers, because otherwise why would you get the lair pretty, so early and with just a den? But I don't know. Maybe he's going to change his mind. Maybe he has already changed his mind, seeing the Wraiths coming out. We've got the control tower down now, and we could be seeing drops coming out. Oh my goodness! Oh man, it is going to be the Hiva build. That is right. Kwanro is going to be playing pretty creatively here, and I like it. This is the Hiva build. I'm not sure, of course, whether I'll actually have queens. Let me rephrase that. The Hiva build, for those of you who don't remember, is the Lurker Ling into fast queens with ensnare into fast hive and not getting any Mutalisks. And this is against a Terran player, mind you. But it is kind of Hiva-esque, if I may say so, even if he doesn't get queens, because he is going to get that early Carapace upgrade. And meanwhile, interesting enough, Canata has switched back into M&M. And this actually is going to possibly play right into Kwanro's hands if Kwanro gets Lurkers out. But it's not, because, oh man, Kwanro's actually gone for Hydralisk upgrades. And this is turning out to be a very wacky game here. Unfortunately, Klaz isn't here to watch this, but this is a very interesting game. Both players have faked each other out. Basically, Canata was saying, well, you're going to go mech, so I'm going to go, Kwanro was saying, you're going to go mech, so I'm going to go Hydras. And then Kwanro, saw the Hydras I can't talk. Canata saw the Hydras and then built M&M. See, they're confusing me so much even that I can't even commentate this anymore properly. But obviously both players have been miffled in their early attempts at tech. And, going for the Wraiths, for example, that turned out to be a complete non-starter for Canata because of the Hydralisks. But now, in the same way, the Hydralisks are going to be useless. Hydralisks are not good against mass M&M. Especially M&M with tanks. They are not going to work out well unless you have massively more, and I don't think that's going to be true for Kwanro. Kwanro does have speed overlords, which probably means drop though, and he's got lurkers now finally coming out. But meanwhile, we see Canata here with a large biomech army, which is what he's finally managed to achieve here at the end. And this is going to be a powerful army still for Canata, and I'm not sure if Kwanro is going to have everything he needs to take care of it. He does have about 5 lurkers, but there's no support units. Where are all of his Hydralisks? I'm not sure. He needs to be using them. Maybe it's because they were in the drops. I don't know, but he has surprisingly few units on the ground right now, and that is going to be his demise if he can't get up a couple more units. And, man, Kwanro, like I said, he has some issues in the later aspects of StarCraft games. He's very good at early game, but he wasn't able to do anything this time around. Anyway, it looks like we've gotten ourselves already a contain coming up for Canata in the front of Kwanro's space, and Kwanro's forced to just put up delaying Sunken colonies. Sunkens aren't even going to do much, although one of them is in range, it seems, of one of the tanks. There is a science missile out already, so this is turning out better for Canata than it's turning out for Kwanro, it seems. Canata, I think, made the smart decision to stay away from the Wraiths, or from the Vultures, or from the tanks, after he saw what Kwanro was doing, which was mass Hydras. And Kwanro right now has not been able to react properly, even though he's, had 4 base the entire time here, or 3 base plus the expansion now. He seems like not to have built anything. I'm actually very surprised at how few units he has. I am just amazed. I'm rather shocked. I guess he was probably getting tech with all of his stuff. Oh, that was a good sniping, though, with the Scourge. Can that be enough? I'm not sure. He does have relatively fast Defilers out already, but he's going to lose his natural expansion here. And I'm not sure if any Zerg can come back at this point from losing the Expo. There it goes, and man, this is going to be nearly impossible for Kwanro now. Kwanro finally getting a Dark Swarm, using his tech, and now his Lurkers are moving up. These Lurkers are going to be very useful here against the plain old Medic Marine here. They're going to get eaten up, but the question is it too late? Is he going to even be able to dislodge this group? It looks like he's losing hope. I'd say Kwanro is also one of those temperamental Zergs, up there with Luxury. And he certainly is so aggressive that you wonder if it's, like, he just uses up all his adrenaline right in the beginning of the game. And if he doesn't manage to win it in the first 10 minutes, he's just not going to. He just has no energy left. I mean, he just is looking depressed right now, to be honest. But he is getting Lings around, so this game, let's not call it completely over. Well, I mean, I just say that, and now a large group of M&M come out, so maybe it is still pretty much over. If Kwanro can't beat this force, obviously it will be over no matter how many resources he mines at that bottom, no matter how much farther he is ahead, or was ahead economically. Yeah, this is over now. I mean, Kwanro's build certainly was odd, and the fact that he got tech switched upon did not help his cause at all. I mean, I don't know if he was going for that Hela build, but it certainly didn't have a chance of getting started. Perhaps it wasn't the Heva build, perhaps it was just, getting early Carapace and then early Hive, maybe into fast Defilers and Lurkers. One will never know what his original plan is, because we're going to have Canata executing his plan successfully, which was for a fairly standard fallback to M&M. And I liked it. I liked it a lot. I think Canata had better judgment, and also a better micro. I'm actually very curious at what happened to Kwanro's macro this entire game. GG coming from Kwanro. I'm a little bit mystified. Maybe he was spending all of it on his upgrades. That is a possibility, though, because he built a lot of tech. As you could see inside the main, he had a Hive, he had a Queen's Nest, two Evolution Chambers, probably double upgrading, and then he got to Hive. He probably had Adrenal Glands upgrading. He had all these things to spend money on, and unfortunately for him, he didn't spend enough on just plain old units. And also, let's not forget, he also probably got both of the Hydralisk upgrades before getting Lurker. So, I mean, that is just so many costs of upgrades, and he wasn't able to take advantage of it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the first day of the OSL. I will be commentating solo on a couple more games in the MSL coming up very soon. So, do stay tuned. And this is going to be a commentary-heavy weekend, I feel. So, it should be fun for all involved. GG.